All right, just going live from the current location with a few topics to discuss. This is a prototype of the designs. We've tried to contact many accounts who are just getting situated here and starting right away with this introduction. We attempted to contact, and this is a distorted image. This is not actually how it looks. This is what I'm wearing, or a variation of what I might be wearing throughout today. We contacted many accounts that were available. We used a method that was accessible to the public to create a starting or a commencement of the process of, well, we're not going to assume any escalation of orchestration as far as how did our work end up with so many strangers, and not just what we wrote, but our vocals. How did referencing Mariah Carey, and Mariah Carey technically does not exist. Neither does her mother that was hypothetically locked on, right? So the timeline has been the most consistent topic that we can reference to say that there's something going on with what's titled as journalism and press that's not correct. So, but we can't even get to that topic completely until we verify what's going on with our schedule. That because we're not known publicly, and even if we were known publicly, would be our first step to working towards clarification and verification of what interventions. Me and my husband at home, we've always sung with each other. So that's that topic for now. Another topic is canary canes, and crane. So let's Google the word crane. And then we have to upload documentation. Oh, we don't. My husband should have that. And that should already be uploaded, correct? So we'll just be what should be a randomized search engine. Type in definition of the crane. A large machine, so let's show what is a result. Well, we can't really. So there's noun, verb, there's a few. Crane is a machine or a noun, right? Crane is a kind of verb. But we'll read through what the results are that are populated via the search engine. So search engine optimization is a concern, right? But we'll just reference, because we have no preconceived notion. We have no challenges acknowledging a possible knowledge deficit and need to bridge that gap, for lack of better words. Crane, noun, and we can even get the pronunciation. A large tall machine used for moving heavy objects by suspending them from a projecting arm or beam. And verb, for definition for the word crane, spelled C-R-A-N-E, stretch out one's body or neck in order to see something. Similar Derek Lynch voiced Davia. That's how I would say that. So canary cane was the best vocabulary at that time, if that makes sense, amidst ongoing chemical agent attacks to cause amnesia. We'll leave that at that. Omitted information and a lot of people lying, a lot of orchestration. And Harry Kane is not Jason Kane, and Jason Fletcher is not Jason Kane. and then an actual king, right? So I don't know, our understanding is that Mr. Jason Cain, spelled Cain spelled Cain, is not related to us. So that's not, he's not a cousin, he's not an older brother, correct? He went to St. Francis de Sales. We don't know that we ever actually met him. We weren't certain of how I was abducted from Europe if he moved me here. So Harry Cain and Jason Fletcher are part of our family. And the obstruction to the truth and Jason Bourne is Matt Damon. Matt Damon is one of the older brothers. Ben Affleck is one of the older brothers. Brad Pitt is one of the older brothers. Dan Beckham is one of the older brothers. They didn't know. George Clooney is related. Didn't know. He might be part of the dad group. And so we didn't have any verification as to, I mean, now me and my husband just sit down and review, like, as far as woke up, was put somewhere, was they tried to employ some type of hypnotism to brainwash me and tell me that I was Jessica Hannah Steinman and I'm not. They tried to make me like 35 years older than I actually am. And they've made it so I can't see myself anywhere. So when someone has a psych history, we don't know if people understand the magnitude and severity of campaigning and lobbying. And we had no information, and so that's that. My commitment to my husband remains the same, and our family planning, my husband is always a priority. And so I rely on my husband, but I understand that there's more going on, that we respect the integrity of his presence, if that's the right way to say that. So we haven't been able to explicitly update him on a lot, but we've remained committed to documenting so that there's no lapse, the best that we're able to. We're extremely private. We've tried to document beyond the nth degree that we did not upload to a public platform, but we had to. We had to create public record because people would stop stealing. So whether something is or isn't published doesn't cancel out. Right. So Jason Fletcher, I'm sorry for him. We empathize and we're apathetic, but we're also annoyed and irritated at how reckless he became in his own life. And Kirkland, Alexander, Yemi, and Fletcher are not the same people. Even Harold Jr. would say, don't compare me to Jason Fletcher. And Justin Fletcher might say, don't compare me to Jason Fletcher. He has made choices that our family would disown him for, kind of situation. So this is, no, we tried to really quickly, because the parents are physicians, so they expect their children to be autonomous and responsible. But when someone's a public figure, or from a certain socioeconomic background, as far as whether or not you're a mandated reporter, whether or not you're exhausted or fatigued, and however you conduct yourself socially, we believe that to a certain degree, no matter how much Jason Fletcher may have been poisoned or not, he should have known better and not engage and participate in such reckless, careless, recreational activities and hobbies. And we're so sorry. We have so much empathy and apathy, sympathy for whatever his strife was in life. But he has to understand the double standard of gender and race. And he was completely negligent. So we were very upset. And he was very rude to me. He could not see that I'm his younger cousin sibling. We don't even know if he really, I don't even know now that I would even say that he really knew me or that he cared to know me. So we're very disappointed. And know where Yemen or Kirkland are at with that, but he participated. I don't know where mom and dad are out there either, but we're upset. We just want to make sure that that's why we say, like, we're not volunteering them to stand by us through this situation for many reasons. But so as far as like me and my husband connecting with our parents, there is a sentiment there, and our parents are also going through a lot where they're realizing that they've been targeted as well. So we can't, we don't begrudge them, we don't denigrate them, we don't belittle them, we don't pity them. We don't believe that they're defective or deficient. We believe that they should have access to the truth and decide how they want to proceed. So over at the church, it's important. We don't know who's picked the origami instructions, but everything that we create, like we create instructions, we've created artificial intelligence. That's what makes access to your art supplies and ordering art supplies so easy. And that's what makes the scholastics so accessible, but you aren't the same. So anybody can get a set of instructions, right? But not everyone can create instructions. And that's just important to be aware of. But at that, we won't say who is or isn't an innovator or an inventor. But the level of disrespect and the voluntary participation, I mean, they've ganged up at the churches too. They've organized events. I mean, this is pathetic and dangerous. That can be synonymous. So negligence, oversiight's almost like, okay, there's an opportunity. No, this was negligence. These are crimes that we will file criminal charges for. So we reference the royal courts and then the Supreme Courts. Those are separate. And as far as our firm and understanding the judiciary process, this is really important. Our firm has never been given away. Parts of our firm or empire were never given away. So all that's on our device is published, right? So I don't know if people understand, like for me to maybe have an alias, which we're not for that, but would not be abnormal. So these people are really hostile. These strangers that are stalking us, that have been recruited by perpetrators, seasoned criminals, veterans of the crime industry, are repugnant and disgusting. And we can't continue in this way. So we don't support people unnecessarily being thrown into the throes of chaos, but we believe in having a more qualitative, quantitative measure process for a metric check round the clock, hourly, or every 15 minutes for security and our cybersecurity and physical security. So all of our work, our intellectual property that was stolen, we have to remove, which means people may not have access to software or hardware like laptops and smartphones or iPads or tablets, and that's not our fault. Try to create something that works for you. So, excuse me. That is a very real intervention to be implemented, and no Wi-Fi. So just get the typewriter. Were those all the topics to discuss?